My special guest is Patricia McKenzie. And she's a dancer, she's an entrepreneur, she's a producer, she is a TV personality. Let's welcome to Patricia. Hi,
Hey, hi,
Patricia.
Ching. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me on your program, your podcast. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. And tell me a little bit how we met.
Very interesting. I am a teaching artist of dance, and one of the organizations I work for, I was putting together a performance, which we call a culmination, at the end of a 12-week session. And we were outside in Upper Manhattan, Morningside Gardens, actually. And they have an outdoor plaza, and that's where I had the dancers come out to perform and to videotape. And that's where we met through a mutual person by the name of Sue. And so that's how we met.
That's wonderful.
Hmm.
Yeah, where I live and also close to you in New York City, Manhattan, we have so many great programs
Oh, yeah.
and they are all free to the citizens. And yeah, we should appreciate those. Now, you have been a dancer since 3 years old. Can you,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, can you tell us a little bit where this talent come from?
Well, my mom started me dancing when I was 3 years of age. I grew up in Queens, New York, and at 3 years of age, what else do? You walk around the house on your toes, that type of thing. So my mom decided, oh, let me put her in dance school. So from there, I actually got very interested in dance. I mean, I just went all out up until I was about 13, and I started going to auditions up to 18. And then my mom said, okay, I'm done paying for all your classes. So you have to pay for your own classes now. So I took dance as part of me. That's one of my giftings.
That's
And I've
wonderful.
been dancing ever since.
So tell us a little bit about the styles of your dancing.
Well, I do ballet. I started out with ballet. I studied with Christina Neubert at Carnegie Hall when I was 8 years of age. I've taken classes with Pepsi Bethel. Those who are in the dance world know some of these names who are now gone on. Pepsi Bethel, Frag Hatchett, Fred Benjamin, the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, Marilyn Hamilton when she was teaching classes out in Jamaica, Queens, Jackson Heights. She was my jazz teacher for a moment. Kime Franks, Garden State Ballet. So I've trained with quite a few people in the dance world.
That's beautiful. And you have danced with some really prominent and famous dance companies. Tell us a little bit about that. Are those like a modern dance or some other styles?
Well, most of it was modern dance, and for a long while, I did liturgical dance. And your audience doesn't know, liturgical dance is what we call sacred dance in the church. And so, with that, I was teaching a group of dancers, and I taught ballet, modern, jazz. We even had some that tapped. And so we put that all together in productions on our Saturday services and have them come forth with choreographed pieces to music. And
Wow.
we use everything. We use the African dance, we use the jazz dance, we use tap, we use ballet, any genre of dance to praise God. We did it.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And music is a huge part of dancing, right? And
Yes, it is.
I don't remember watch dance ever with silent. So music really puts the mood, also the genre, and it could be very contemporary. It could be like you said, liturgical,
Liturgical,
yeah,
yes.
sacred, and that I guess do you use like 13th century music, or do you use music just representing the mood of liturgical?
Well, usually if you had, we had a what they call a praise team, and they're the singers. So they would have a set list of songs that they would sing for that particular day, and we got the music, and so that's how I would choreograph, or some of the other dancers and I would co-choreograph movements to the words of the song. So, if, for instance, if it was one artist, I can't mention their names because, for whatever reason, but if it was one artist and they have a movement in the song where I think flags can be used, and we did a lot of flagging. I don't know if you've ever seen that in dance, but we have flags of different colors and different weights, and that's something that works very well with dance. We've also used Latin dance, so if there was a piece that had a little bit of salsa in it, we would use the Latin salsa dancing, a bachata. Yeah. So
It's
just
beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah, I love salsa dancing, and
yes.
also in my community, Kathy is a Latin dancer
Salsa
teacher.
teacher.
Yeah, do you know
Mhm.
Kathy?
Oh yeah, we've worked together.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
The so I go sometimes go to her class once a
Okay.
week, and she really kills me. It's so, it's so difficult. Yeah,
Oh, I
but
know.
that's good for me. Now you are also a teacher, and you've been teaching dance for a long time, and your your daughter is also daughters also our dancers. Can you tell us a little bit about the importance of teaching?
I think the importance of teaching. I started teaching when I was about 18, and I taught ballet because ballet was my foundation, until I came into the jazz and the modern and contemporary and African dance moves. I think teaching is very important, especially when working with children. I've worked with children from kindergarten to 12th grade in the DOE, which is the Department of Education, in performing arts high schools, junior high schools, middle schools, as they're called now, and elementary schools. And at each level, the importance of reaching these children that have all this energy, especially the little ones, the 4 and 5 and 6 year olds, you have to capture their attention immediately, and you have to keep it because their attention span at that age is very short. So I learned to work with each different age range and different ways to negotiate, if you will, on how to work with them. Like I said, from the 4 to 6 year olds, the middle schoolers is it's a whole different ball game with them. And then you have the high schoolers, who some of them are in performing arts high schools, some of them are dance majors, some of them are theater majors, and some of them are music majors. So depending on who you have in the class, if it's all dance majors, oh great. If it's some music majors in there that don't know anything about dance, then you have to negotiate how to work with the dancers who are fully technically trained versus the students who are just music students or theater students. But
Yeah, this
the importance of the dance, I think, whether it's from kindergarten to 95, 100 years of age, is very important. The discipline, first of all, is very important. There's very much discipline, because if a person doesn't become a dancer but have danced throughout their whole life, they can take that discipline and bring it into their regular 9 to 5. If they're an attorney, they have to have discipline. If they're a librarian, discipline. Any job that you have out there, it requires some sort of discipline. So I think that's how dance steps over into regular day-to-day jobs. And I think that's important. And it's a
that's
lot
so
of
well said. Yeah,
fun. It's
so
a
well
lot
said.
of fun.
I think dance like a teacher, right? And there's a saying, if you want to learn something, of course you already knew, uh, you teach. So a lot of time when you teach, you actually get inspiration from your students, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That happens a lot. That happens a lot.
And And being a dancer, I think you have a lot of advantages. Yeah. And you see, you are actually, when you dance, you are exercise your body.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit of your you are also a fitness specialist. Tell us a
Hmm.
little bit of that segue.
Now that's interesting. I got into fitness, I think some years ago in like the 90s. And I found out most of the dancers that I was taking classes with, they were going to the gym because I was wondering how they had these leaps and how they had such strength. And none of the dancers at that time was telling each other, "Oh, I'm going to the gym and like really get some strength training in," or da da da. So I started going to the gym, and I saw, oh, this is what they're doing for their legs so that they have that power to jump from here to there, and they're up in the air. And I'm like, how do they have that strength in their back? They were all going to the gym and nobody said anything. So I, in my wonderful way, decided, let me check out this program. It's called Shape Up New York City. And they had a program. This was about, yeah, like 2013, 2014. They had a program where I got reconnected with the fitness department through the parks department. And they had a program with Shape Up New York and Shape Up Magazine at the time. And so you went through this program, and it was a general program, but you had to choose your music and the whole 9 yards. And we learned kickboxing, we learned a whole lot of things, what we call CECs, continuing education courses. And I was certified as a fitness instructor, certified as a silver sneakers instructor. And silver sneakers, for those who don't know, is for older adults. We don't want to call them seniors now, but older adults. So it's a program that was specifically put together and established for people over 50.
Is this the same as dance for various
No, Dances for
population?
it's a little different. Silver Sneakers is a program within itself. Dances for DVP, as we call it, Dances for a Variable Population, is an organization that gives free classes to seniors over 60. And the CEO, Naomi Goldberg Haas, is the CEO and artistic director of DVP. And the classes are taught throughout the four boroughs. Actually, we're not in Staten Island, the four boroughs. And we have some retired people that come in, and we have a community of participants. I call them the community. And we have all sorts of people that come in and take the classes. You can check them out on, let's see, YouTube, as well as the calendar on dvp.nyc.org, as well as when you look on the calendar, you'll see where the classes are. Like for instance, where you are residing, they have classes over there. I teach over there, Morningside. Grant's Tomb, during the summer, we have classes on Wednesdays and Fridays and Sundays. And you can basically go to their website and look at the calendar and see all the classes that they have. And they're at well over 15 senior centers or older adult centers around the city. And the classes are free, and also outdoor classes in the parks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I went a few times, and I can tell you the style of the dance has you don't have to be a dancer or any what do you call, any strong body, anybody, even if you have a like your leg has some problem or your arm has a
Hmm.
problem, you can always uh, do your way, and it's very almost like a stretch and
Yes.
extension and very community. Oh, sorry, New York City. Welcome to New York City. uh,
Yeah, sorry.
yeah. And it's like an exercise in a very gentle way and also very community. way, because
It's
there's a
very,
person to person connection. That's so awesome, right?
yeah, you came Sunday and took the class, and I was there, and I said hi.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of stretching. It's not, DVP is not what you call a dance class per se. It's an exercise curriculum, and it's moving the different uh, muscles through your body, different moves for your biceps, your triceps, your hips, your legs, your knees, different movements for different muscle groups of the body that keeps the body agile. So I don't want anybody to think, oh, if I go take a DVP class, I have to be a dancer, have some kind of dance background. No, you don't. Anybody can come. I've had students who are in wheelchairs. I have students who are non-sighted. I'll put it that way, non-sighted, and they have their guide dogs that come to my class, and they have a great time. So, I mean, there are people of all different backgrounds that come and take the classes. My particular class that I'm teaching now is called an Afro Beats African Fusion Dance class. So my class sometimes when I teach, not sometimes, but when I teach, is a dance class.
Yeah,
So
I see 20-year-old there also. It doesn't
yeah,
have to be over 60, right?
no, it doesn't have to be over 60.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Now, you are a very versatile person, and you dance, and you're very entrepreneur. And tell us a little bit of your TV program where you interview celebrities, authors, performance, and all kinds of creative people and wives too. So tell us a little bit how you developed this program. Where was this idea came from?
Okay. There's kind of two stories to that, two backstories. One, I started out as a photographer, and I love black and white film. And there's a gentleman by the name of Ansel Adams, and I was introduced to his work, Ansel Adams, and he does a lot of photographs of the American scenery with the mountains and that kind of thing. And he just ignited something in me as a photographer that I wanted to become a photographer. And so I went on the journey of getting cameras and going different places and shooting black and white film at the time as well as color film. And from there I parlayed into a video camera parlayed into doing a mind body spirit show for someone, and I was the videographer as well as the fitness instructor. And I was approached by the gentleman who was videotaping this particular program, and he said to me, no one is doing what you're doing in our community. Have you ever thought of starting your own program? And at that time it was just fitness, not the dance portion. So the name of the show is Faith and Fitness TV Broadcast, The McKenzie Project. So I started off in television by going to taking the classes at this particular station, took the classes and start learning how to put together a television show. Fast forward, my show has been on the air for 24 years. It's called Faith and Fitness TV Broadcast. It's on M&N, which people know is Manhattan Neighborhood Cable, but we're the first cable company to go global, so we're on the internet. I'm also on several channels, Spectrum TV, Verizon Fios, yeah, and also on the internet every Saturday at 4 p.m. www.mnn.org, Channel 1. And there's different channels, but if you look for Faith and Fitness TV broadcast, The McKenzie Project on MNN every Saturday at 4 p.m., you can watch the show. And I've had Hollywood Wives on the show, and it went from a fitness program into a red carpet program into meeting celebrities and just interviewing them. Just interviewing them. Come on my show. Rebecca Cruz, your husband is Terry Crews from all these different shows. And people would just come up to me, or I'd see people in the street and go, "Oh, here's my card. Call me and let me know that you want to come on the program." So I've interviewed, like I said, Hollywood Wives, Vera Moore Cosmetics. She's the first African American woman to have a major cosmetic line out in Long Island over 35 years ago. She was an actress that was on a soap opera. I can't remember which one it was. And she was, because she's African American, back in those days, before my time, they didn't have foundation for her color skin for the soap opera. So she and her husband concocted some stuff, put it together, and now over 35 years later, she's like the top of her game. Vera Moore Cosmetics. Hi, Vera. So people like her, a pioneer in the industry of makeup for African American women as well as women of color. I've interviewed up and coming authors who are self-published, uh, a myriad of comedians, people in the Harlem community, people not in the Harlem community. So it's a wide range. I've interviewed transgender people, those from the LGBTQ community. And so I don't push anybody out. I just leave the platform open. And I'm sure, everybody has a story to tell. And I give them the platform. So
Nice.
tell a vision is for me to tell a vision, which is my vision.
That's great. Very inclusive, right? White,
Yes,
black, all
everybody.
kinds of people, right?
So I call it an infotainment talk show. It's information and it's entertainment.
Yeah. And do you have somebody inspire you to do that?
You know what? The only person I can think of that really inspired me was Oprah Winfrey.
Yes, I was thinking about that.
That's the person that inspired me, Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
But she was never a dancer, so
Yeah.
yeah.
And she's so charismatic. Of course, she's
Yes.
Oprah Winfrey, and she talks to her guests in such a personal way.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then you don't feel like almost like you don't feel like you're being interviewed. It's like a more
Right.
conversational quality. And she's an actress, and
Oh
she's
yeah.
very natural on TV and production wise. Now, speaking of dancing, and I understand you are also uh, in school now. Tell us about that.
Yay. Yes, back in 2017. Yeah, 2017. I went back to college. Interesting. I wanted to teach on a collegiate university level dance classes because I felt like in the DOE, I was kind of not trapped, but I wanted to work with students who really wanted to dance. In other words, if I was in a college where they had a whole dance department, I can go, I'm working with people who really want to dance. And so to go back to school, the particular school is BMCC, which is Borough Manhattan Community College. Had to kind of start all over. And so I went in as a theater major and I was looking for dance, and there was no dance program there. And so this was back in 2019 before COVID. And I walked around, I talked to senior vice president of student affairs, and I talked to different faculty members. And I said, listen, you have a big poster of Alvin Ailey poster down in the basement of the college in this particular building. And it was a poster of Donna Woods, one of the great soloists of the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater Company. And I was like, but you don't have any dance in any programs here. You have theater, but no dance. And so I was approached by one of the professors for the Black History Month celebration of the month of February. And they celebrate all month. So I put together, they said, can you do it? I said, yes, I can produce a show. Yes, 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 yes. I put out flyers for auditions during the Christmas holiday. Obviously, everybody had gone home. So in January, when people came back for classes, I did hold auditions And instead of asking for dancers, I asked for creative movers. That way, the students who were not technically trained wouldn't feel like they didn't qualify to come to audition. So I got a handful of students, and they were all dedicated, committed to rehearsals. They learned the choreography in 3 days. I'm working with not technically trained young people. They learned African fusion dance movements in 3 days, and was able to perform it with me together with 10 drummers. It was amazing. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, you did this." And I was like, "Yeah, we want a dance program. Let's put it together with the theater department." So we're looking to work that out. So I was very proud of that. And I have a few more courses before I graduate. Yay.
So what courses, like they must have a class or emphasize, and what area do you think you would benefit especially by going to school?
Well, I think the theater, like I said, the theater department was great because I was a theater major. Um, Theater and dance go together, especially if you're talking about musical theater. When a lot of people go on auditions, they ask, "Are you an actress, a singer, or a dancer?" When I was coming up back in the day, we called it triple threat. I had to act, sing, as well as dance. So when I went to auditions for Broadway shows or off Broadway shows or films or whatever, do you dance? Yes. Okay. Sign up for the dance audition. Do you sing? Yes. That's the singing audition. Do you act? Yes. Do you have a monologue ready? So we had to do it all. We had to do it all. And to this day, I don't know if they still do that, but to this day, that's what we did. We acted, we sang, and we danced, and we made sure we got the gig. So yeah, that's it. That's about it. I think that being versatile in that way, when my daughter was coming up through high school, she went to a performing arts high school, which was Gramercy Arts High School, and she went in as a theater major. Oh, I'm sorry, music major, and she later uh, changed over to musical theater because I told her, I says, if you're going to go into the industry, you're going to have to be a triple threat as well. She sings very well. She dances. She remembers choreography that I forgot. Um, and she can act. So I took go in there and change from just being a music major to a musical theater major. That way you have all three, your triple threat. And when you go to auditions, if one person just sings, you at least have all three down packed. And that's why I tell a lot of my clients that come to me and go, "Well, I want to dance and I want to do this and I want to." And I'm like, "Well, check out some singing lessons, vocal lessons, check out some dance classes if you're an actor, because movement in theater go hand in hand. When do you see an actor on stage or a Broadway show if it's just a play and they're not moving? Even if it's a musical, there's some kind of movement. Look over there. There's some kind of movement. So dance is very, very important to marry with theater, I
Do you
believe.
think a person can dance or a person can act can be trained, or it's just naturally like music, right? Some people just have bad hearing. They can hear the pitch, they play out a tune.
Hmm.
And some people also have very good spatial, because music play instrument has a lot to do with the sense of a spatial, where you move to, where you come down, and how you influence people. So for dancers, tell us a little bit about, is this something natural or something can be trained?
I believe there's both, because you can be someone that has a natural talent to move. Like when I look at kids, they have a natural ability. They hear music and they naturally start moving their bodies, and that nobody's taught them. They're 2 and 3 years old and they hear music and right away they're just kind of moving. And this goes for all cultures. Um, But at the same token, I think that, ooh, just lost the train of thought. Um, what was I? I'm sorry, I lost my train.
Oh, we're talking about naturally if someone
Oh,
is.
naturally as well as trained. I think when you see a natural talent in a child, a teenager, young adult, they can be trained. They can be technically trained if this is something that they want. Not everybody who takes dance throughout their junior high, middle school, high school years becomes a dancer. Everybody can't be in Dance Theater Harlem. Everybody can't be in Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater. Everybody can't be in ABT or SAB, School of American Ballet. Everybody can't be in New York City Ballet. I'm just talking about New York because that's where we're based in New York City. Um, whatever different companies, Twyla Tharp, Modern Dance. You just have to find out what's your niche, and maybe it's just for you to learn discipline.
Now, practicing
Mm,
musician, I'm a musician. I can practice in my home or
yes.
in my closet. What about dance? Where do you
I don't
practice?
think we can dance in our closets unless we have big walk-in closets. But we rehearsal space in studios. My apartment is large enough that when I first moved here, when my daughter and I first moved here, I would have rehearsals in my living room. Of Oh, sorry, I would have rehearsals in my living room for the dance ministry that I was director over. So I would have like 11 people in my living room, mind you, really no furniture at the time, but 11 people. I'd bring them to my house. I'd say, okay, dance ministry, we're going to have great big pot of spaghetti, garlic bread, eat to your heart's content. And when you're done, we're rehearsing. And they go, oh my God, what are you doing? So I'd have about 11 people in my apartment rehearsing over and over and over again. So if we can't afford to get a studio downtown, because sometimes studio space can be expensive, um, and then to get everybody there at the same token. But my apartment, my living room became our practice space to bring up new choreography, to tighten choreography, to bring other people into the choreography. So my living room became the space to practice. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I asked question related to this earlier is um, when you dance and what kind of music you prefer? Do you prefer certain genre personally?
Personally, because I've been teaching a lot of African fusion, Afro beats classes, I lean towards the African drumming and music for those classes. But if I'm just dancing, I can put on R&B, classical, do the ballet thing. Um, it just depends on the mood that I'm in, basically. Yeah.
Now, speaking of New York City dancing companies, do you feel in New York City, including five boroughs, which is Manhattan, Kings
County.
County, Queens, right, and Staten Island, and also Bronx, do you feel like a dance program to the public, like free, can be more improved? How do you feel?
Absolutely. Anything is up for improvement. Anything can be improved. It's just depending the organization, who is funding the organization, who is part of the organization, and are they reaching out to their communities? And that's very important. So if you have a community where there is no dance, why isn't there? Has an organization gone in there and presented to the community? We have this class called Afrobeats, Afro Cuban, and this is a uh, Irish community that have never heard of Afrobeats or African dance, and they're interested. Like, yeah, let's try this. and it works. Opposites do attract, So that's my saying on that. Introduce it to the community.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to acknowledge our audience up here to hear making comments. And I know a lot of people are listening, and some people will watch this replay right after this live. This is a live show, and what you see is what you get. There's no
Yeah.
editing right now. And say hello to, let me go from beginning, and we have Julius. We have Mark, and we have Louis, and thank you, me, he, la, Hatch, and some other people. And in audience, if you have any questions for Patricia, please write in the comment, post the comment. And now, when you talk about all these dance movement, especially you are involved, um, you can send me the link and later on, and I will put in this description of the YouTube, yeah, YouTube
Okay. Mhm.
post. Yeah, so people
Okay.
can look into it if they want to involve in the classes, and most of them are almost all of them are free. And now New York City, like early said, New York City, certain person uh, often cut the budget, and they cut the arts, right?
That's
Music.
the first thing that goes, the arts, which
Yeah,
I don't understand.
I know it's unfortunate. Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah.
And we have also limited free music program.
Hmm.
Well, I wanted to talk about this program, and this live show has been going on for 4 years, since 2020. Is it
Okay.
4 years? Yeah, yeah. I've been interviewing people at the beginning is because the COVID, so I can see people, I can see my comrade, I can see my relatives. So I started to interview different people, teachers,
Very good.
my child, my husband, and all kinds of people. Then this developed into this is somebody making noise. Sorry, and develop into interviewing artists, all kind of people, and like you said, you interview people, a different
Yeah.
race, different
Yes.
sex, different, gay, lesbian, and
Yep.
trans. Yeah, so we're really open to all kinds of people, and just finding out who they are, what their specialize, and what are their, what do you call, goals or interests. So what is your, like, I know you involve so many things.
Yeah.
What is ideally for you to strike more, and to make the project more successful?
Now, which project? The Mackenzie
Anything.
project.
Whatever you do, what emphasize, or you can name two, what project you would like to strive, and what project I know you want to do everything well. So do you have a preference, or one or two things?
Well, I'm working on um, my fashion uh, part now. I did go to college for fashion design, FIT, um, and I've been working on some things in that arena. So that's as much as I want to say about that with the fashion world. Um, the second thing is I'm wetting my feet in the film industry, and because you're an accomplished award-winning film director and writer, yes. And so I'm looking to do a film that I've been working on since 2019, before COVID hit, and it has what I will say, it has to do with dance. That's it. So,
Yeah,
as a filmmaker and a fashion designer, kind of marrying them together because fashion,
yeah,
dance,
that's awesome. Yeah,
costume design. Yeah. So, those are the two things I'm really looking forward to working on.
Yeah, when we first met, you're like your eyes were lit and knowing I do film, and but my I'll just tell you a little bit. My first profession is really classical music, and
Ah,
then I love use lenses to tell stories. And you guys check out my 90-minute feature. It's written, I think, in the description. It's called My
okay.
Young Gun Diary, and it's a good
Oh
time
yes.
watch. Yeah, it's a good time to watch and
Yes.
talk about people supported a person. I'm not going to name it. A
Yes.
person who's running for Democrat primary, and
Hmm.
how people's power and people's what do you call energy, and
Yeah.
I've never seen something like that. So I follow them with the
You
iPhone.
followed him for quite a while.
Yeah, like a whole year almost, and with
Wow.
the iPhone 11.
I know. I was like, this is incredible. I said, you filmed the whole movie
Yeah,
on iPhone 11?
yeah,
Get out of here.
it's
That
on
was,
Amazon now, Amazon Prime.
that was
And yeah,
amazing.
yeah, you can also see.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
We have someone ask you a question,
Okay.
Patricia.
Mhm.
Have you heard of jazz, hip hop, dance?
Jazz, hip hop, dance. Now, are you asking in terms of two separate genres or one genre together? Jazz, hip hop.
That's Mihala Hatch ask you a question. So maybe Mihala, you can write more specific what Patricia asked for. Now, my friend Lewis says, "What advice do you have for an upcoming dancer trying to break into the industry?"
Ah, okay.
Deep,
The industry.
deep.
One of the first things I would say, what is the age range of the person looking to get into dance? Have they been taking dance classes for a while? If they're over the age of 20, how much is this a real passion in your life? And if it is a passion and you're over the age of 20, go for it. My answer to that as well is take all types of dance. Ballet is foundational, modern, jazz. If you're into hip hop, contemporary, tap. Familiarize yourself with all the genres of dance, even ballroom,
Salsa.
salsa, bachata, merengue, whatever, familiarize yourself with all types of dance and proceed to move forward. If you fall down, get up again and keep moving forward and pursue your passion. If it's a passion of yours, go for it, no matter what anyone says. You be your own guide and keep moving forward. I just saw a lady on social media the other day. She's 56 years young. She's all over Broadway Dance Center and she's all over BDC and she's all over. She did cabaret. She came to New York. She's living her dream at 56 years old. Go for it.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
At any age. Once I had a student
Yeah.
started at 86 years old, and and until 94.
That's
And
amazing. Playing violin.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. That,
She already knew how to play a little bit, but we just have weekly lesson and make give her homework and she can work on. And yeah. So
that's
now,
amazing.
yeah, Mihila Hatch answered your question when you early, because she said, Patricia, how have you heard of jazz, hip hop, dance?
Yes.
And then you ask her question, and then she says, my niece take up, oh no, that's the, oh no, this one, it's, she said, one together.
Okay, one together. So
Yeah.
jazz hip hop, I've never heard of it, but I'd like to learn about it. If you have a link or something from YouTube or somewhere else, you could send it to me. I would love to check it out. But I do know of Homer Bryant in Chicago. I interviewed him on my program as well a couple of years ago. He is the creator of hiplets. Hiplets. I'm shouting you out, Homer Bryant, in Chicago. He's the creator of Hiplets. And what he did was take his dancers, and it's mostly African American, but it's a mixture of people now, cultures, put them on point shoes doing hip hop. You got to check them out. It's called Hiplets. They are, when I first found out about them several years ago, I was like, this is amazing. And he trademarked, I forget, copyright, trademark, whatever it is that you have to do it. Nobody can steal it. And people were upset that he had these dancers who are ballet dancers on point doing hip hop, but they're also doing African dance on point. I was like, you better work, honey. So I met him at the memorial for Arthur Mitchell of Dance Theater of Harlem. And later on, I met him several years later and was in the same place and asked him for an interview. And I did a Facebook Live interview with him right then and there. He's an amazing man. Homer Bryant. Hiplets.
Hiplets. Wow, interesting.
Hiplets. You
Hip,
go on YouTube and just type in Hiplets.
yeah, yeah.
They're
Now,
amazing.
speaking of hiplets, quickly, this is not like endorsed by the company. Okay, I was very excited by what do you call, a Midsummer Night's Dream. We should all take advantage of that because you went, right? I went.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Wow. Now, what is this question, Shark FinTech?
Oh, chef than that. I love Patricia's discipline mantra and the triple threat aspect. I always tell young people in financial services, he's a financial person,
Okay.
to broaden their skills and knowledge horizon to help ensure job security.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with you, Shark FinTech. Thank you. I
Yep,
really appreciate that.
yep. And now me, he said, my niece takes up dance, and Darling joined us. Darling said, Patricia, you have such a beautiful spirit and are so real and what in
Engaging.
yeah,
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
yeah,
Thank
and
you.
is it she, right, Darling? Darling,
Yes.
yeah. I think your attitude has prepared you so far.
Perplexed you so far?
Pre-
Maybe she meant,
pre-
I think your
pre-
attitude has perplexed you so far, or propelled. Maybe she meant propelled you so
yeah,
far.
yeah.
I think that's what you meant, darling.
Oh yeah, she said, "Whoops." I
Propelled.
don't.
I figured that's what you meant. Propelled.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank
Thank you
you.
so
I
much.
appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. So let's see. Miha says, "Got to go." Oh, okay. Hanging out. Yeah, you gotta go. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so much. I
yeah,
appreciate it.
and waiting for your.
Ooh, did we freeze?
Yeah, I think a darling made a statement, right? Was there any question? I didn't see a darling, and as you asked her a question, as you asked a question. Oh, I don't know. I will check him out later. And thank
Okay.
you so much. And Shakran say, what does Patricia think about Kamala? Hey, we're getting a little bit
Oh,
political.
y'all don't do that to me, y'all. No
Yeah,
comment on Miss Kamala Harris, Vice
yeah.
President.
No, I think
No
if she,
comment.
I think, okay, you don't have to say anything. I think she kicked ass, so that's how I feel.
No comment.
Look, you're very smart.
No
Anyway,
comment.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Julia, congratulations. Yeah. So we're wrapping up this session. It's almost 50 minutes,
Oh,
and you
this is
guys,
wonderful.
every week, almost every week, sometimes every other week, I interview people with all kinds of background and interesting story to tell.
Mhm.
Miha, you have another question? Ask her a question and then immediately had to go. So I told her, okay, that's fine. And yeah, so thank you so much. You know what? I usually do a, what do you call, rapid fire. Would you like me to do it? Just a few questions?
Sure. Let's go.
Rapid fire.
Hmm.
Has to be quick.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue. All right. What is your favorite junk food?
Pizza.
That's not junk food. What city would you like to prefer live other than New York? Like in United States?
Paris.
Paris. Okay. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And are you a tea or coffee person?
Tea.
Tea. Yeah. Do you drink? Do you eat sweets?
Very rarely.
Yeah. Are you watching like eat less and keep them dancing?
Keep the dancing body.
Yeah.
I do have one thing that I love, Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
Oh, dangerous. Dangerous. Yeah. And if you have a chance to have dinner with three persons, live or dead, separately, who would you like to have dinner?
Jesus Christ, President John F. Kennedy, Abraham Lincoln, Harriet
Nobody,
Tubman,
nobody's living.
Harriet Tubman,
Nobody cares. Nobody
Michelle
cares.
Obama,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Michelle
Oh,
Obama.
he kicks ass. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not. Okay, we're done, and you guys listen to our replay and tell
Yeah,
people how wonderful this thing is. And I'm Ching Juhl, and this is Patricia McKenzie,
thank
and
you so
have a
much.
great Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Do you have a last word?
Um, Keep dancing. Thank you, Ching. Thank you so
Awesome.
much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. And thank you, audience. Thank you for watching. And watch the replay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. All
Thank
right.
you so
And
much. Have a
I'm
great
going to end the
weekend.
stream. All right. Three,
Thank you.
two, one.
Okay.